Hi. This is our whole Q&A and we've got a little secret that we're going to share with you at the end of this video. But firstly, we just want to say thank you for watching our Paris series so far. We think it's gone well.
We've had more viewers than ever.
Yeah, we have. And we've hit some milestones as well, which has been exciting.
We have, yeah.
Had a few subscribers, loads of comments. We genuinely celebrate all of those comments, likes. Every time there's a subscriber, get my teeth in. We literally say, we got a new one. So we genuinely from the bottom of our heart are so grateful and very, very, very excited about doing this, which is our first ever go at a haul.
Yeah, and a Q&A.
And a Q&A, because we've had loads of questions come in and we thought, actually, maybe something like this might be a bit easier.
It's sometimes easier to elaborate on the camera rather than
just a quick
typing
message.
Out a quick message, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, first, let's maybe review what your favourite thing was about Disneyland Paris.
My favourite thing was probably the weather was good this time round.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say that the rides were good.
Yeah.
There wasn't I thought it was going to be more closed off.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a surprise that it was still quite fairly open.
In terms of the construction?
Yeah, yeah. And we ate a lot more snacks than we did before at Disneyland Paris.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we know we've had some people be like, you little piggies eating loads. But what we do is we share a main meal so that we can literally snack and just try everything. That's the thing. Sometimes when you're coming from the UK to these Disney parks, you really want to embrace everything there is to offer. And the food changes all of the time. You just want to get stuck into it. So yeah, I would say for me, the character dining was something new to us. So that was a new experience. Yeah. I really enjoyed the location of Hotel Cheyenne. Like, the bus was so handy. And dare I say it, over the Newport Bay. Like, Newport Bay is cozy, comfy, homey. We
always walked as well because we thought it was closer.
Yeah, but with the Hotel Cheyenne, we were actually in the parks quicker than we were being at Newport Bay.
Yeah.
And actually I would say it's less crowded. Less so we enjoyed all of that kind of stuff. And then the fireworks. The new show, the Tales of Magic. Oh my God, what's it called again?
Tales of Magic.
Tales of Magic. Oh, and those of you that know, obviously Chess is always here with us as well, so he's joining us. To experience it at the back of Main Street, be really immersive, and then down at the front. Like, to have those two different experiences was absolutely brilliant. I can't actually think of anything that went badly, apart from just staff members, which we've said in our vlogs before. And the rain that we had Saturday morning on my birthday, everything was smooth. Oh, and obviously Big Thunder Mountain being closed, absolutely criminal. But anyway, shall we get on to some questions? Okay, so kicking it off with a couple of questions that we've been asked. One of them is, I think this is more your area of expertise.
Oh, okay.
What is easier for Disneyland Paris? Would you say euros or a card to take with you?
Oh, a card all day.
Yeah? Why would you say that?
The Revolut card was just so easy, just to tap and go. And plus, do they still take cash there?
Do you know what? That's a really good question. I'm not
sure.
Know. I can't remember. They must do. They must take cash. I know some places don't.
Okay.
But also, I'm sure we paid cash for something.
I'll put it up here anyway, if it does or doesn't. I'll find out.
Do you know what? I'm not too sure. Actually, thinking about it now, we paid cash in the service station and for the tolls.
Okay.
So when family gave us cash for our holiday, that's what we did with it, wasn't it?
Yeah, we used it on that.
So actually in the park we used our Revolut, you're right.
So I'm not sure. But we always use the Revolut anyway because of the transaction fees and the low currency conversion fees and stuff like that.
But not only that, is we found as soon as you change up a note in euros, you end up with coins, don't you? And it's just an absolute nightmare to carry around. So I would definitely say, if you haven't got a Revolut, definitely look into it. If you've got friends and family that have got them as well, you can get a £50 referral fee, I think. So it's definitely worth investigating into. And we've used it everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Kirsty and I came back from Thailand in November. We used it there. We've used it in America all the time. So 100%. They're so easy. It's an app. I think you even get discounts on things with it as well.
Not sure.
It's almost like a debit account. That's what it is, isn't it? A modern debit. Speaking of money, we've been asked to just go over our pricing again on the Disneyland Paris trip.
Okay.
So just to let you guys all know, the total for the two of us, this was staying on site as well because we were obviously in Hotel Cheyenne, was £894.58 to be precise. That included a free Le Shuttle, which is the one that goes underground. It's not the Eurostar from London. And
they both go underground.
Yeah, but I meant like the one from London is the car.
It's the car that goes on.
Yeah.
The car that goes on the train.
And then about £120 on petrol we worked out, didn't we? And that was 4 days as well. And that includes your park tickets. So we actually thought that was a Barry bargain because that was in February half term as well. So we know that normally Disneyland Paris throw out some deals September, October time to book for January, February, March of the following year. And we've always booked within that time slot and we always get a good deal, don't we?
Yeah.
So I think TUI recently have done like free travel too. So keep your eyes out. There's definitely always something available. Someone's asked, how did you and Reese meet?
Oh, how long have we got?
Well, there's two stories, isn't there, basically?
There's two meetups, isn't there?
Yeah.
We met at college originally, didn't we?
Yeah, back in 2010 when we were in college.
Yeah. And my persistence didn't pay off at that point.
No, it was a no from me.
And then we met up again in Australia.
Yeah. So, but when we say like Australia, we weren't just like out in a club in Sydney or something. It was in the middle of nowhere on a farm. And Reese had like a holiday bed. So he was like temporary, basically. He wasn't a permanent resident. No. And then all of a sudden, so there's 6 of you that live in a room. The guy that was on the bunk above me, he had done his like farm days and he was like, I'm moving out. And I was like, Reese, you need to get that bed ASAP. Yeah. Anyway, it was love at first bunk bed sharing. I don't know. But Reese moved into the bunk above me and that was it. We just
went on a couple of dates and that was that.
It was a bit of a rocky road to get there.
The rest is history, they say.
But anyway, we found our love for Disney very quickly because we returned to the UK and for New Year's Eve we went straight to Disneyland Paris where we realised we both share this love.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. But yeah, so 2010 and then we re-met in 2017. Was that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I think 23, 24. Yeah, so we've been together now, coming up to 8 years, married nearly 2. So going well so far. So the next question, so this is probably more aimed at me because I can't really see Reese ever doing a bound. I don't know. I'm trying to persuade him into lounge flights.
I won't be doing a bound.
One thing at a time, you know. But what is a bound that you'd like to do? Now, I've actually been thinking about a future bound because when we went to Universal Studios in Hollywood, I have this like blue vest. And it only struck me the other day when obviously all the Snow White promotion's been coming out. I was like, that blue vest would be a really good Snow White top because it is so perfectly blue. So I would actually quite like to do Snow White. And I think in Epcot would be perfect because you've got like the German pavilion and I think she meets by there is what I've heard. And every single park that we've been to, so like California or Paris, Magic Kingdom, everything has something Snow White themed. So I think like that would be a really good bound to do where there would be a photo op. I just think it's quite cool, quite simple to do.
Simple to do.
Simple to do, yeah. So that would be one that I'd be quite interested in doing. I don't necessarily she's not my favourite character, but I think she would be really quite cool and you would see a photo and know what it was. Last but not least, before we show you our first item that we bought when we were on our holiday, Chloe has asked, is the reserved area for fireworks worth it with 4 children or is it just as good at the back?
I would say the reserved area is better. One, because the area is sloped, which means the people in front of you are slightly lower than you. Mm-hmm. And also, if you are a child, you just get drowned out by taller people.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people put kids on their shoulders.
So unless you've got 4 shoulders to put kids on. Yeah. Well, technically, I suppose you would if you're 2 parents.
And also, I think you're so close to it. It's like you're looking up and it's like there.
Yeah.
So you'll just see it no matter what.
I actually think if you're there for 2 or 3 days, do both, I would say, because I think when you're stood in Main Street, I can imagine as a kid you could look up to the buildings and like see everything going around on the buildings in the middle, but you would have to be conscious that day you can't see the fireworks in the castle.
And also how much patience do your kids have to wait around 40, 50 minutes before to get your spot?
That's very true. That's actually a really good point, because at
whereas
least
the reserved
sometimes.
area, you can literally leave it 10 minutes before the fireworks start, and then you can just go find your area right in front of it. Bish bash bosh.
I wouldn't recommend quite 10 minutes though. I would probably get there half an hour earlier still, because you can actually sit down in the reserved area as well, whereas everyone else in Main Street has to stand up. But they let you sit down a little bit more and stuff. But I would definitely say it's worth it. I know it's 20 euros.
20 euros, yeah.
But it opens 7 days before.
So it opens onto the app 7 days before the day you want it, basically.
Yeah. So that's something to bear in mind. And it goes like hotcakes because it's such a small area.
Yeah.
I would definitely say do it. I would do the two. I would do one at the front in the reserved area, and then I would do one halfway down Main Street, not at the back. I would do halfway down.
Yeah.
Because you'll still see the fireworks, you just can't see the projections on the castle, but you can on the buildings.
If you're on Main Street.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for that question, Chloe. Hopefully that one answers it.
Yeah.
Right, should we get into our first item? What are you going to show us? Okay, so first items that we're going to share with you that we bought on our trip. Now, those BDI people watching the vlogs might already work some of this stuff out.
Yeah.
However, item number 1 is a t-shirt that I bought. This was 30 euros and I hope it lasts me forever. I love it. Look at Sorcerer Mickey. It's the Disneyland Paris one. It's got it there right in the middle and it's lined with such a cute blue. It's just perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
This would look so good if you're going to meet Sorcerer Mickey, or if anyone manages to pick like that really cool fleece up. There's so many things. I mean, Sorcerer Mickey's become really, really big recently. So item number 1 from Steph.
23 euros will get you a Walt Disney Studios t-shirt. We bought this just on the back of I basically went on Tower of Terror, seen it in the shop, and thought they're definitely changing the name of that park, so I think we should get this, just a bit of a memento, really. Yeah,
you wanted it as a takeaway, didn't you? And you preferred this one because they had a hoodie, didn't they, with the Walt Disney Studios on it?
They did, but it didn't have any of the rides on there.
Well, it's got Tower of Terror, and then obviously it's got like the water tower and the Sorcerer Mickey hat. So it's really, really nice. Is it going to be one we necessarily wear all the time? No.
No. And obviously when it is hot, black probably isn't the colour, is it?
No, but we've never been to Disneyland Paris when it's hot, so we haven't got to worry about that.
True.
But it is, like you say, sometimes these things are for just the memories, and you are right, with the change of name coming up, it just made sense to pick something up. We don't collect pins or anything like that, do we? No. So that felt like a really good thing to pick up. So let us know if you've seen any of that stuff, because there were some exclusive things in that Tower of Terror shop, wasn't there? Like mugs and things like that as well. So we've had a question about our work-life balance and content creating. How do we do it? Now, this actually came up a couple of times, so it's clearly something people are interested in, really. Yeah. You do the vlog editing, so you go with your side of things first.
Well, obviously we go out on our holidays, video it, come back. It then goes onto a hard drive. Mm-hmm. I then sit down, takes me 5-6 hours put together. Mm-hmm. Steph then comes and has a look at it. We watch it for how long the video is. Then we tweak a few bits, add a few bits that we've taken on like phones and stuff like that.
Yes, if there's any like photos and things that we want to put in.
And then, so that'll take another couple of hours. And then we convert it, which then takes, I basically leave it overnight.
Yeah, it's like 8 hours.
It takes a good few hours.
Yeah.
And then we watch it again to make sure that the video's right. And then it gets uploaded to YouTube, which then takes another 2-3 hours.
It goes through like the copyright
and then
checks.
It goes through all of its checks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
And then by the time like you write the descriptions and things like that, like all the chapters in it, I reckon every vlog is at least 15 to 20 like hours of editing, clipping, downloading, all of that kind of stuff.
So in terms of how I do it, happens on an evening, or if we don't have time on one evening, I'll mix it up into 2 days and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's how the videos go.
Yeah, and like sometimes we'll put like someone's vlog on in the background and we'll work for like 2 hours on it and stuff, won't we? So we both have full-time jobs, to answer your question.
Yes.
Both work Monday to Friday, like 9 to 5 jobs almost, isn't it? And we basically just do it in our spare time. Reese does go to like football with his friend Adam. But other than that, we don't have any like hobbies or anything else that we're committed to. So really, this is our hobby and this is our passion and our love. So that's why we do it. And then for me, I do all like the social media stuff. I say the marketing. It's almost like the networking.
Your Instagrams, your TikToks.
Yeah, and I post one a day every day. And that will vary morning, lunchtime, evening. On a weekend, it's sometimes a morning because I'm up and about. We get up at 6 with Chester, so our day does start quite early. So if you see anything posted in the morning from us, it's because we've probably had a spare half an hour where we've got a cup of tea and sat down and done it. But, you know, on my lunch breaks and things like that, it's... Once you get used to making these kind of videos, especially like the TikTok and Instagram ones, there's one that I've done today that's taken me literally 4 hours. So some of them take a long time, but some of them can be super quick fire. And I think once you get used to making them, you can like get them together quite quickly.
You find a rhythm, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And it just varies. Like I actually find the photo ones are harder because you're making sure that you're getting everything perfect and right with them. Whereas sometimes the video ones, you just throw them out there and just hope for the best, sort of. Just sort of like, honestly, Reese will be like, did I just hear you filming upstairs? I'm like, an idea's come to my head, I've stuck my phone on the window and I've recorded something. And I just stick a pair of mini ears on and we just go for it. So it's not necessarily that we're setting time aside, but we probably spend... You probably spend an hour or two a day on things. I probably spend about 3 or 4 hours every single day on things. But that's even just like talking to people. Like we say, we reply to everyone's comments. We really look at the analytics on YouTube and stuff as well. So we're not just constantly posting and creating things. It's the stuff that happens in the background. So don't get me wrong, it's hard work. I will say that. Balancing life, work, and content creating is hard work. You've got to find the right time to fit it in, and you've genuinely got to love doing it. The second it's not fun, it's just not the right thing for you. But I've had a huge passion in social media for years, doing loads of different little things. So this just merged together. It was magic, and it was just perfect. So for me, it's not like, oh, it's not a burden. Like, oh, we've got to post, we've got to do this. I'm like, oh my God, I've got to do that post. I'm so excited to do it. It's something I genuinely love doing. But you have got to find the time for it. I think once you've done it for a year or two, you pick up the momentum and it's like so much easier, but it is time consuming. It's a slog. So that's why we appreciate everyone that comments, because we're like, wow, someone's actually seen this.
Yeah.
Really, isn't it? That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Someone else has asked... Oh, this is Chloe again, actually. Chloe has asked, how do we make the most out of Magic Hour?
Oh, good question.
The bus. For me, the Magic Hour, the key thing at any of the hotels, unless you're at Marvel or Disneyland hotel, is get the bus, because it's the security line that is really going to affect your Magic Hour. Don't stand in the hotel security and have that go through for half an hour, 40 minutes and lose your Magic Hour. That's first and foremost how to make the most of it. Secondly, think about the rides. I would say, like, we'll get into rope drop a little bit later because that's another question that we've got. But with the Magic Hour specifically, it is hotel guests only. So you've really got to think about those things that are going to be long queues for the day.
It's not even long queues. Like, it's more... Also, the park is very much less busy. So the photo opportunities are a lot better.
Yeah, of course. The photo opportunities are great.
But you've got to be prepared to either do photos or rides. You can't do both.
No,
Magic Hour.
You can get photos done and then you can get in a queue for a ride.
Yeah.
For sure. But even just things like if you wanted to walk around the castle, the middle bit, you know, like upstairs, it's quite busy in the day, isn't it? So if you really want to go and see all of that kind of stuff and not have anyone interrupt you, like Reece said, it is generally quite empty. So it is really, really good for your photos. And sometimes, I don't know what everyone else is like, but you've done your hair and makeup, first thing in the morning, the photos are quite good to just get done. And then if you get wet, if it rains, like if your hair's messed up from a roller coaster, so be it. Like, that's good. The other thing I've seen people do is also queue for the characters. Now, it is a waste of your magic hour, in my opinion, because you're queuing in a queue to wait for it to open. The characters don't open until the normal guest entry. So you're just waiting at the front of a queue to be the first person in there.
I personally think your magic hour, you should queue for the ride that usually gets the busiest.
Yeah, which typically most people go to Peter Pan.
That tends to be the best option.
But we tend to go straight to Space Mountain, don't we?
Yeah.
Or if Big Thunder Mountain was open, we would probably go there as well.
Yeah.
But the other rides don't get that busy that's intolerable to stand in the queue.
But in fact, I think in that magic hour, you could possibly get 2 rides done and save yourself a good couple of hours throughout the day.
We've got all 3 done before in that Discoveryland bit. We've done Buzz, Space Mountain and Star Tours.
Star Tours, yeah.
We've got all 3 of them done, haven't we? And actually, if you wanted to, you could probably get Autopia done as well.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing.
No.
The other thing is as well, if you character dine for breakfast in the Plaza Gardens or with the princesses, you can get in 15 minutes earlier than the hotel guests and it's completely empty.
So if you've got a reservation for 8:30,
Yeah.
you can get in at like 8:15.
Yeah.
Which is even before the people with the magic hour.
Yep. So that is also a good thing. So you are paying for that privilege, firstly, but you're also getting to meet characters. And it's a good use of your magic hour, I would say, in a way, because you're then not eating into your park day.
Yeah.
So pros and cons to all of it, but magic hour at Disneyland Paris is really good for your photos because it's a smaller castle, big crowds. So that was definitely something I would say. So this was a nice question, I thought. What's your favourite thing to do in every Disney park? For me, my favourite thing, regardless of which park it is, because obviously Florida's so unique with so many different parks, but my favourite thing is just to drop everything at the door and just embrace the second you walk through the gate and like scan your magic band or whatever it is. It's like just let go of everything, all the issues that might be going on in life, all the drama, and just immerse yourself fully into that holiday.
Yeah.
That's my favourite thing to do at the Disney park is real life doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Is that a crazy thing to say?
No. I mean, mine's almost like what we're eating because I'm usually so hungry at that point because you've sort of like got out the door, you've got on a bus, you've walked there, you've sort of done a bit before you get to the park.
Yeah. But it's your favourite thing. Like, what's your favourite thing to do is like...
Probably queuing up for that first ride.
Really? The excitement of it?
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then that sort of eases yourself in for the day then.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably mine.
Yeah. I just love that feeling of just being in the bubble and just forgetting everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. And I think, I could be speaking for myself here, not for everyone, but I think that's why when you leave Disney and you wave goodbye to the castle, why so many people cry and get emotional because
you're exiting the bubble's bursting almost.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You're stepping back into your reality.
Yeah.
And it's such a safe zone as Disney that I think that is something that people really struggle with.
Yeah.
Like going back to the reality is really hard.
Yeah.
How many times a year do we visit Disneyland Paris and do we have any Disney cruises booked?
Disney cruise, absolutely not.
Now, back up while you're saying that.
I might be speaking quite vaguely here, but didn't we look at the price and we thought, how many other holidays can we get in with that price?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is down to price. That's the reason why we haven't got a Disney booze cruise. Disney cruise booked. Is because we looked at the one that's going from Southampton, didn't we?
Yeah.
And for 3 days, it was coming in nearly £4,000.
It was almost ridiculous. It was the price of like it was the price of like a 3-week holiday for like 3 days. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. It was crazy money, and we just felt that we couldn't justify that on a Disney cruise.
I couldn't justify it.
But then we were looking at like the ones that you can do from Orlando.
Yeah.
And they're so much more reasonable price. But it's then like finding that time not every year, but you need 3 weeks to be able to do like 5 days at the park, 6 days at the parks, to then go and do like a week or 2 cruise.
Yeah.
With the flights either side, it's actually a lot of calendar days you need to give up for it.
So that's the cruise.
That's the cruise. And then Disneyland Paris, we go once a year at the moment.
Yeah.
That's what we try and commit. However, we have said that, you know, in the future we would maybe consider getting an annual pass and just commit to going a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
Because we love driving there, don't we?
Yeah.
It's just so accessible.
Yeah.
So easy. And the prices that we seem to be finding them for isn't inaffordable.
Yeah, it's I feel as though it's really reasonably priced.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's because they're sort of still trying to get people through the door because they're constructing a lot or whatever. I'm not sure, but
I think we always go in winter though, don't we? So you're almost paying knowing that you're going to get wet all day and you're suffering with that. But yeah, we've looked into an annual pass, haven't we? We've definitely considered it. So
I think again it comes to sort of getting your money's worth out of it. I think you've got to go at least 3, maybe 4 times to then sort of benefit.
Yeah, for sure. But it's almost like a year that we're willing to give up maybe some long distance holidays and just Disneyland Paris for a couple of months. We said maybe if we have children in the future, that might be a really good opportunity then. So we're not going super long haul, but we can still have that Disney magic. Yeah. So we don't know. But at the moment, currently once a year.
Yeah.
Although I was maybe thinking about going next month just for one day.
Who knows?
Who knows? But I was ad hoc spare of the moment being like, I might just go. And Reese is like, oh my God. But yeah, so at the moment, we've got no more Disneyland Paris plans for this year. Okay, so haul item number 3. I think a lot of people would have seen this on Instagram and TikTok already. But
probably.
For the YouTubers, it is the Disneyland clock. We bought this just before our character died, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And just look how cute Tinkerbell is on the top. It's so lovely. It's quite weighty, I will admit. Like, it's heavy, isn't it? Yeah. And just the pink and the blue go together so nicely. Mickey is so funny. By the way, when it's like 3:15, he's like bent backwards in half.
His hands are doing all sorts.
But it's a really, really cool clock. We love it. And it actually just sits at the back of our shelf in the lounge. So you'll see it go up there in just a second. But this is item number 3. This was €149.
Yeah.
Obviously meant that we could claim our tax back as well, thanks to this bad boy. So anyone that hasn't seen that, in vlog number 4, we show you how to do the skip tax. And we got €30 back, didn't we? Which was basically one of our t-shirts for free. So that's always good. Why not claim back when you've got all of that? So that's really good. But yeah, we know that this was quite rare for people to pick up for a while. They've been a bit more frequent and common in the shop. But this is when you go into the Disneyland hotel shop, you go up to the 2nd floor, I think the shop was on, like near the restaurants and stuff. Okay, so the next question is advice for a newbie going to Disneyland California.
Advice for a newbie? I'd say the first bit of advice would be bear in mind that Disneyland California is in Anaheim, which is quite a bit far south than downtown LA.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to stay in Anaheim, just be prepared that it's a good hour and a half, 2 hours to get to like Universal Studios, for example. Yeah. All the studio tours. Where else did we go?
Well, we went to downtown LA, didn't we? And we did, we just had like dinner there, like an In-N-Out burger and just things like that, didn't we? We went on a bit of like a tourist
trip as well. So,
yeah.
So yeah, that would be my first bit of advice. Just bear in mind that it's not... Disneyland is in its own sort of area in California, basically.
Yeah. So, and the traffic, it actually took us like 2 hours, didn't it, to get there? So I would actually say do your trip and plan to stay in Anaheim.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't go messing around with going here, there and everywhere.
Second bit of advice would be that the 2 parks, California Adventure and Disneyland Resort, they are big. There's a lot of rides.
Oh yeah, they're jam-packed.
Yeah, there's a lot of rides. And also we found that it was very much quieter in the mornings there.
Yes.
We could get a lot more done in the mornings and then your day sort of slowed down because there was more people in the park. The queue times got higher.
It was locals, wasn't it?
It was locals, yeah.
They say a lot of people that go to Disneyland are actually locals. They all have annual passes. It's not like Orlando. Although in Orlando, it's only the locals that can get annual passes.
Yeah.
But like, it is just full, isn't it? Like every license plate we saw was a California license plate and things like that, wasn't
There's lots of them, yeah.
Loads and loads, which is fine, but it means that they finish work and they genuinely spend their evening in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Like that's just what they do. Mine would actually be, you need at least 4 days. I think I would have liked 5, just to definitely get everything done. If anyone's watched our Disney California vlogs on here, you will see that we went 100 miles an hour. We did not break, didn't leave the parks. I mean, we don't really like leaving parks anyway. But it's more that we did 2.5 days, didn't we? And then went into LA.
Yeah.
And I think our mindset was, we don't want to do a 15-hour flight and not go and see LA. However, we do regret it, don't we, slightly?
Yeah, we felt as though we jammed as much as we could in the 5 days.
Yeah. And actually, I think you could do 2 days in each park because they all have evening shows. And what ended up happening is we were watching Fantasmic and we had to stop halfway, didn't we, to go and watch the fireworks. So we were in a position where we missed half of Fantasmic because of it. And it's so different to the one in Orlando as well.
Yeah.
So I was so gutted about that. And also the fireworks don't run on weekends.
No, they don't.
So we wanted to make sure, because we were only there on a Monday and a Tuesday, but because it was Labor Day,
we needed to make sure that the days
saw the fireworks.
Yeah.
So that is gutting. But again, you live and you learn, don't you? My other thing for California is you live and die by your rope drop strategy.
Yeah, you have to go to the correct rides in a certain order to be able to get them done when it's quieter.
100%. And if you don't, you genuinely mess your day up.
You do mess your day up, yeah.
Like Reece said, there are so many rides and you are queuing. It's not like Disneyland Paris where it's not as
For example,
busy.
if the rope drops and you go to Matterhorn, if you go there first, you can literally get on there within 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
If you decide to do it a second ride, you're waiting 45 to an hour.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
But also, if you rope drop and you go to Rise of the Resistance or Indiana Jones, which are always hour-long queues in the day...
They tend to be open.
They don't tend to open. They tend to go down first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So we learned this. If anyone is planning a trip to Disneyland California, we highly recommend you follow and watch Fresh Baked.
Yeah.
He is so good.
He goes every day, does so many videos on it.
His rope drop strategy is what helped us get through it, wasn't it?
He tells you exactly what rides to go on first,
Yeah.
second, third, fourth, yeah.
The food is good there as well, I would say.
The food is very good, yeah.
Like, we had really good breakfast and things like that, but the park days feel longer there, I think, because it is like, it's from crack of dawn till late at night, whereas Disneyland Paris,
It's like 8 a.m.
They close.
Like 8 a.m. till, for example, I think it's
9:30.
like 9:30, 10 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah. So we would say it was like a really, really long day, but of course you just don't want to go back to the hotel and embrace every second.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say for a newbie, they are probably the couple of things I would do is give yourself time. Rope drop strategy is so important. And like Reece says, do as much as you can before sort of 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is, how do you compare Walt Disney World to California?
Oh.
So for me, I don't really think there's a comparison. There are so many different things to do. I would say California, firstly, obviously has the originality and the nostalgia to it. You know that Walt created it, walked down those cobbled streets. You just know it's Walt all over. And just like even the rides say, you know that he specifically designed them the way he wanted them. The tours you can get in California are like no other. It's just phenomenal. Go and have a look at them, honestly. But for me, Walt Disney World, because you've got the sort of 6 exclusive parks, you've got something different to do. In every single park has its different meaning. And I feel the only thing that's comparative to California is actually Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
They're the only two things that are
similar.
almost identical,
Almost
aren't they?
identical, yeah.
Because they've got the same aesthetic, the same 2 rides.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know Minnie and Mickey's is in California as well, but Minnie and Mickey's Railway is in Toonland, which is a completely different aesthetic to the Chinese theatre in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
So, yes, there are some rides that are the same, but most of the rides are completely different. You don't have Cars Land in California. Cars Land is amazing.
I feel as though the California Adventure is completely different to any other park in Disney World.
Yes.
It's completely different.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. It's so Pixar
San
heavy,
Francisco,
isn't it?
that's nowhere else.
No. Well, not in Walt Disney World, anyway.
Yeah, it's just 2 different experiences.
Incredicoaster is amazing. Like, even just the Ferris wheel with the Mickey on it, like overlooking that. It's the only nighttime show they do like it. I know that Epcot used to do something similar, but it's just incredible.
Yeah.
But the difference, that's the only thing I can think that's comparative. The other thing I would say is quite comparative actually is the food. being different or comparative?
Flight's longer for California. Simple. And costs more.
Actually, the customs was way worse, wasn't it, in Los Angeles?
It's busier, yeah. The airport was busier.
Another one from Chloe. She had loads of questions. She was really keen to get some in. Did you meet Stitch at Paris, and is he there? Stitch obsessed children. We didn't meet him.
Unpopular opinion, not a fan of Stitch.
Boo. I actually love Lilo and Stitch film. I used to watch it all the time. But anyway, aside from that, to actually answer Chloe's question, Stitch meets outside Casey's corner. So it looks like it's closed at the moment because I don't know if you guys are planning on going or if you have a trip. But it's boarded over, like the seating area outside Casey's. But as you walk down Main Street, Casey's is just on the end and Stitch meets just in front of that, basically. And I can't remember what time he starts, but he starts, I think, just as the park opens. But the queue, he's the longest character meet queue. I think he's even longer than the Princess Pavilion. Like, genuinely 2 hours. We've never met him because we don't want to put that much time aside to meet characters.
No.
We won't do it. But he is always there, as far as I'm aware. He was a unique character to meet, but I think he's become more frequent.
Right, okay.
Is what I'm going to say. I don't know what time of year he comes in, comes out, but I do know at Christmas he wears his Santa outfit.
Yeah.
So I've seen loads of people meet him, so he was definitely there when we went.
Cool.
What is your favourite ride out of each park that we have been to?
Oh.
Now, we've got all of the ones in Walt Disney World, we've got all of the ones in Disneyland Paris, and all of the ones in California. So that is 2, 4, 10 parks.
So where are we going first then?
Let's go Paris first.
Okay. Which park?
Disneyland.
I'm probably going to say Space Mountain.
Knew it.
Yeah.
I would say it's our favourite ride to ride together.
Mountain. Yeah.
We always tick it off first. Mine in Disneyland Paris, although criminal, not been able to ride it for 2 years, is Big Thunder Mountain. It's the best one out there. But that is my favourite one. It's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Next park?
Studios.
Flight Force.
You do love that one.
Oh, it's so good.
As I've said in the vlogs before, I love to hate that one because I get so much anxiety before I go on it, but then I come off and I love it.
Yeah.
I think Crush's Coaster is so different.
Yeah.
There's nothing really in any other parks like it.
True, yeah.
People despise queuing for it, but I really do love Crush's.
Yeah.
It's good fun. However, I do really love Web Slingers, and that's because I'm so good at it.
Okay.
Okay, so if we come out of Paris and we go to Disneyland California Adventure.
Incredicoaster.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, that was really good. Really good.
It's such a long roller coaster.
It is, and it's different to anything else in any other park,
Yeah.
I think.
I think when you go around that Pixar sign.
I think the only thing I can compare it to is the Hulk, Incredible Hulk in Islands of Adventure. Similar.
Similar, yeah. It's got as many twists and turns. I think once you've done 1 or 2, that's it. But what I love about it, it's quick, but you just keep going. You almost like do a lap of the park, don't you, kind of? For me, undoubtedly, it's Radiator Springs Races.
Yeah, true. You love that.
Cars is everything. Undoubtedly. However, there was some really good rides in there. Like we said a minute ago, some of them are so unique. Even the water ride was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, the...
like Rapids.
The Rapids, yeah.
Like the bear... I can't remember what it was called.
Country Bear or something, wasn't it?
That was really good. It's so random, but there was really cool stuff there. And then I would say for Disneyland...
Yeah.
No, it's hard because there's some of our favourites in Disneyland. Like, I would say it's hard because Rise of the Resistance is one of our favourite rides.
It is,
and that is in that park.
But I'm going to save that though for another park.
Spoiler.
But yeah.
What would you say?
Mine would be Indiana Jones.
You can't have the same.
Yeah, it's good though.
It is good.
It is a good one.
To be fair, the dark rides are all different, aren't they?
Yeah.
Although
we went on that at least 3 times.
Yeah. We smashed it.
We did.
Absolutely smashed it. The Matterhorn I liked, but it wasn't fun.
Old and rickety.
It was a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
But like that was it. But that was what I would say.
Next park.
Animal Kingdom.
Dinosaur. No, it's not Dinosaur.
It is Dinosaur.
It's Indiana Jones, isn't it? Same ride.
It's going to be an Indiana Jones.
It's got to be Everest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Some
one.
people say Flight of Passage, but
I think there's more of a thrill on Everest.
It's quite a simulator ride, isn't it?
It's heavy
Flight of Passage,
simulator, yeah.
So I think Everest, just because of the track and stuff, but yeah.
I'd probably have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it counts, but the Kilimanjaro Safari is actually really good.
Yes.
The quality of animals that you do actually get to see is brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's like 20 minutes of your feet resting.
Yeah. Epcot.
This is a really tough one.
Spaceship Earth.
Get out. Cut. Cancel.
No, what is it?
See, we love Ratatouille. That's a favourite of ours. We ride it so much.
Mission Space.
No.
Nearly threw up on for that.
Stop. I love Test Track, but again, I've said Radiator Springs Races and it's the same ride.
Similar ride, yeah.
It is the same thing, but obviously Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, yeah.
Is like no other. But then I do like Frozen Ever After as well.
True.
There's so many good rides in Epcot.
Ratatouille.
I just said it's one of our faves.
Yeah.
We ride it all the time. I think it's got to be Guardians.
Okay.
For me.
I'm going to sit on the fence with that as well.
You're going to say Guardians as well?
Yeah.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
A ride like no other, really.
No. And then where else have we got? Hollywood Studios. Let's go there.
Mickey and Minnie's Railway. Runaway Railway.
Runaway Railway.
Yeah.
Always get me, like, it's a tongue twister, that one.
I think it's that one for me.
I'm stuck between that and Rise. Rise of the Resistance. But they're very similar rides with that test, like, the track and everything like that.
Yeah.
But with Rise, I think there's just a bit more of a thrill.
There is.
Like, everything is immersive, and that drop, although I hate drops, you guys know this, but, like, there is just that thrill element to it.
It's very immersive, yeah.
But do you know what it is about Minnie and Mickey's? It's the only ride that obviously involves Minnie and Mickey. So I think we all love it for that reason as well.
That's exactly why I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good family ride.
It's fairly unique, yeah.
For sure. I actually can't wait for Monsters Inc. to go there. That roller coaster looks amazing.
Good, yeah.
It's going in.
Yes, please.
Bless you. We won't do the water parks because people don't know the names of the rides that much. Are you going to sneeze again?
Sure.
The last one.
Go on then.
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom. You go first.
I actually really love Space Mountain there. A lot of people don't like that Space Mountain, but I quite enjoy it.
What, the sort of single?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up and down, round and round. Nothing too mental, crazy.
I do like Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. Or Buzz. Because I always beat you on that.
Yeah, I know. And just to throw it in there as well, Universal Studios.
That wasn't in the question.
No, I know. Well, it's like each of the parks, you know.
Probably the Escape of Gringotts, I think it's called, isn't it?
Oh, you like that one, the bank one?
Yes, I do.
Mine's Hagrid's. I know it's Islands of Adventure.
That's Islands of Adventure.
My Universal one then is Men in Black.
Okay.
I love that. It whips you around.
That's
I think
cool.
it's so good, Men in Black.
Yeah, it's good.
But Islands of Adventure is definitely Hagrid's. What about you?
Well, Hagrid's, yeah, obviously.
Or would you say...
No, it's Hagrid's.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Not
good
Velocicoaster?
No.
What, because it literally, like, killed us?
Killed us, yeah.
Okay, we're going to go for another haul item now. I'll start off. We're going to have to double check the price on this because in the shop it said something so different to what we actually paid.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced he actually charged us the right amount, which is obviously a really good thing, but
I'm not sure.
who cares? It is a Starbucks mug. This one is so beautiful. Our favourite Space Mountain on there. It's got Star Tours, Small World, Big Thunder Mountain and the castle. It is just so pretty. I love this mug. Got a Disneyland California one as well, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, they've got really, really nice ones in there.
They are nicer.
But can't bring every single one home.
No.
Well.
And I have got a World of Pixar t-shirt. Which was €30.
It's cool, this one, because I think it's a nice navy colour.
Did I get this in the shop outside of
Buzz
Astro Blast as well?
Yeah, so it's got Edna, Buzz, Dory and Mike Wazowski on here. And then obviously the letters are similar to the Spirit jersey as well. So it was a really nice one. I think sometimes for guys, there's not too much in terms of like t-shirts. They're quite feminine sometimes, especially we noticed quite a lot of them are cropped this time.
Yeah.
So actually, I think it was nice to be able to pick something up that was
good.
actually a little bit more manly.
Yeah.
So yeah, fun. Right, next into some questions. I've got one more bit of merch to show you from the trip. Well, not from the trip. That is actually our items that we bought, isn't it, from the trip? But then we've got one more thing to show you. Okay, another question that came in was, what is our favourite rides and food in Disneyland Paris? Now, we've just said our favourite rides, so what would your favourite food be?
I really love the beignets.
Yeah, he ate enough of them.
They are my favourite. Yeah, they are my favourite. I thought the Mickey pizza was nice.
Oh, yes.
And also first, the raw banquet food was lovely, obviously.
Oh my God, yeah.
And another snack, the beef balls.
You stole mine. That's what I was going to say, the beef balls.
Well, you say it then.
Mine's the beef balls. It was from the Old Mill, wasn't it? Which was at the back of Fantasyland.
Yeah.
Loved those. It was like a curry gravy in breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so nice.
It was so good.
The other thing is actually their waffles are really good from the stalls. Yeah. They were really nice. Like I had half caramel, half Nutella. Oh, it was lush.
I'm also going to say what wasn't so good as well.
Okay.
I think the Cars Toasty I had was weak. One wafer thin slice of ham and probably like half like a teaspoon of like cheese on there.
Yeah, Disneyland
like a
Paris
smear of cheese. That was poor.
It was poor, and Disneyland Paris, you do need to review your portion size for that.
Yeah, that was awful.
Oh, we forgot to say the burger that we had from Toy Story.
Yes, that was also very good.
Now we watched Sam for Good, didn't we? And she was the one that sort of found it, and that's where we were like, oh, we'll give that a go.
I think some of the best food is at the stores.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That's why I always
rather than like the quick service or anything like that. I think
Yeah.
the stores, and it was so quick just to grab as well.
And that's why I said in the podcast, I would actually not do a dining reservation at Disneyland Paris because I think the food in the stalls are better than sitting down for a three-course dinner.
As well, yeah.
Because some of the meals we had weren't that great.
No.
Like our trip before when we had the dining
Yeah,
plan.
they weren't. And we were just sort of eating for the sake of it as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good question.
Yep.
Fantastic. We ate everything. Okay, this is quite a quick one. What is our favourite park?
What? Anywhere we've been to?
Yeah, anywhere we've been to.
I think Epcot. Just because of how varied it is. And I like going around all the countries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say Epcot.
Okay. I also have a soft spot for Epcot.
Yeah.
And I can't really put my finger on why, because there isn't actually that many rides. Is it because it doesn't feel like a theme park? I don't know. What is it about Epcot that just feels right?
You're right. I think it's not a traditional theme park, is it?
No, it feels like you're on a jolly day out.
Yeah. It's just a bit different. Yeah.
However, I also like Animal Kingdom for the same reason.
Yeah.
I've got a real found love for Animal Kingdom. I think there's a lot of people that say, oh, it's just a half-day park. You can only need like 3 or 4 hours in there. We've actually analysed it from our honeymoon, haven't we? And we said we actually reckon we did it wrong. And you can spend the full allotted time in the park.
Yeah.
Because by the time you walk through the Tree of Life, you do some of the food stops. I think we appreciate the food and stuff a lot more. So I think we would slow down if we were to do it again.
Well.
The shows are phenomenal in Animal Kingdom. They've got some really good rides there. I think it's underrated. I think everyone automatically just goes, Magic Kingdom. Don't get me wrong. There is no feeling that beats the Magic Kingdom feeling.
No.
But when you talk about uniqueness in a park, I think that's why Animal Kingdom and Epcot feel that.
Yeah.
But I used to hate Hollywood Studios. We fell in love with Hollywood Studios,
Yeah, they've got
didn't
the
we?
game, haven't they? Yeah.
And we think that they're going to continue to, so therefore it might become our favourite park, but I feel like we just need to book a trip and try it again.
Yeah.
This is an interesting question. What would you take out of Disneyland Paris and put in like California or Walt Disney World or vice versa? Now I'm going to jump straight in here, and a lot of people have been, not saying great things about the Disneyland Paris extension for putting Lion King in there, and they keep saying we should have Galaxy's Edge. Now, my argument to that is, yes, it's a breathtaking land, but do we need 3 of them? No, we don't
No.
need 3 of them.
It's something a bit unique, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'm like, I think if I was to pick anything up... Now, I know I'm biased, but I actually think Cars Land is needed over this side of the world.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I think that would have been a far better fit for Disneyland Paris than the... I still think The Lion King is a good thing, by the way, because it's almost like a little touch of Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
But especially when you look at the plans and how they're going to walk around and everything like that, I think, yeah, World of Frozen definitely is a good shout for Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
I think that was a really, really good idea. I think if there's one thing, it would be Cars Land, just because it's so different. But then, that would be a reason why we would go back to California. So I feel like they need to have different things.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. And a lot of people say, like, oh, Walt Disney World needs Cars Land. I'm like, no, like, you can fly from Florida to California. Like, it's within the same country. If you put it in Walt Disney World, there's no need to go to California.
No.
So that would be, like, my one kind of pointer on it.
I'd also take the Disney... I know it's so hard and they haven't got the land to do it, but the way that Disneyland Paris' hotels are so close to the park. California has sort of like 2 hotels and the rest are just like chains, aren't they?
Yeah.
Outside of the park.
They didn't make as many hotels within the facility, did they?
Yeah. That's what I take, but it's impossible, isn't it? So.
Yeah, the hotels are definitely so different in California, for sure.
Yeah.
And I actually really love, obviously, the way that the Walt Disney World hotels are like, yeah, they're quite separated, but you can link them with the bus and the Skyliner and things like that, the monorail and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else I would really take, because I think they've all got their individual styles. The only thing I would maybe say is like some of the ride technology that's in Orlando is really good, isn't it? Like Guardians of the Galaxy and Rise of the Resistance. I think Paris is missing that super ride.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, World of Frozen and Lion King is not going to bring us
No, it's not.
a super ride.
No.
Although Space Mountain is far better than any of the other Space Mountains, so we've got a good roller coaster, I think we're missing something with that high tech.
Yeah.
Now, the other item that I was talking about that we didn't necessarily buy on our Disney trip, but our friend that we've made, Kerry, is an absolute living legend, let's put it that way. She has an annual pass, and the new shops opened in the Disney Village, didn't they? Is it Disney Style and Disney Glamour?
Disney Style, Disney Glamour, yeah.
And very similar, actually, to the shops in Disneyland California, because they've got D-Lander that opened. Anyway, the infamous Mickey Sorcerer jumper was one that I hunted high and low for on our trip.
Yeah.
And we could not pick it up
We went
anywhere.
to every shop.
Yep, and we asked the cast members as well, and they were like, we haven't seen it for 3 months.
They laughed us out the door, didn't they?
Yeah, they were like, not here, not happening. Anyway, I have one. Here he is. So cool. Front and back. It's got the Mickey on the side, the writing there. It is a fleece. This is so perfect with that t-shirt that I picked up.
Yep.
I can't wait to wear it as a combo. I think it will look so good. So I feel like we need a Disneyland Paris trip in the winter just so I can wear this.
And how much was this?
How much was this? This was €70 plus a little bit of thank you tax. But basically, Kerry got the bus to go grab it, and she was there for rope drop of this shop opening, which is just so amazing. She picked me up one, her up one, and her brother's called Reese as well, actually.
There we are then.
There we are. All the Reeses. And yeah, so this was really cool because I would have picked it up on our trip had it been available. So it was a must-get item for me. Unlike me to not pick up a pair of ears on a holiday, because I'm the queen of ears, but there just wasn't really anything that really floated our boat, was there? Have you got any questions you want to ask me?
No, but you clearly have a question for me.
No. I suppose I do have a question for you, actually. Why do you love Disney and like what? Because Reese, people won't know, Reese is the one that actually books the trips.
I think it's come from like a young age where I used to go once every year, maybe every other year, and I don't know, it's just, I think it's a bit of nostalgia that I get from it. And also I just love going on rides, eating good food, embracing what Disney has to offer, really.
Yeah, I definitely say it's similar for me, for sure. And I think it's a safe space too, and it's just like a bit of escapism, and It's not, I think a lot of people look at us, and we've had some comments quite recently, because I think when you start out as like, we don't even class ourselves as content creators. We really struggle with that terminology. We're just vlogging what we do.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people say to us like, oh, it's cringy. And I've had like the words Disney freaks used and things like that. And it's, I think to people that don't go to Disney, it's so much more than just the films and like the animation. I think people just think, oh, it's animated film, so it's for kids. But someone actually made a comment on my TikTok and said, well, why do they make rides that are like a certain height then? Like the rides are made for adults.
Yeah, they're made for adults, yeah.
Like there are child-friendly rides, but you know, a lot of the merch is adult
clothes, yeah.
Clothes, and you know, there's the evening
it's based
like pass.
It's based for families, but families are full of adults as well, so
yeah, definitely. And like I suppose the adults are the paying audience.
Yeah, that's exactly it, yeah.
But for Disney, it's like, yeah, okay, you get to meet the characters, you hear the music, it's the colours, the senses overload almost, don't they? Because you've got so many smells as you walk around the park, and it's always clean. In America, they're so friendly, and you feel really accommodated to. And we're actually finding the prices are coming in quite similar to like if we were going to look at an all-inclusive holiday, because that's how we stumbled upon Paris. Is we were just looking for like a European break. And it was coming in cheaper to go to Disneyland Paris for the two of us. So it felt like a no-brainer, really, didn't it?
It's almost a sense of escaping reality when you're there as well.
Yeah.
It's not really real life when you're there, is it?
No. And I also just love it because it's like, it's just us.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, if we went with friends as well, we'd have the best time, but it's because you're all understanding of that environment and you'd respect each other's boundaries with it all as well. There's people that won't want to meet characters because they're not comfortable with it and things like that too. But we've had so many people support us on what we're doing, haven't we? And we're really grateful for that, because there's quite a lot of our friends that haven't got it, and there's a lot of our friends that have really supported us and totally embraced it and completely get it.
And enjoy watching us.
Yeah, which is wild, because we're literally just sat in our lounge.
Yeah, I know.
Like putting these videos together, now speaking to you all. It's just madness.
Yeah.
But I also love it because it's just time for us. And I just love always being with you.
Yeah.
And I think because we met each other when we were in Australia, we've always had this sense of love for travel, haven't we?
Yeah.
And Disney gives us that. The cruises maybe one day, you know, we can go to some different places. Tokyo, Shanghai. Hong Kong. Walt Disney World.
Disney World, yeah. So we've sort of
been keeping a secret.
Now this has all sort of come to a bit of an end.
The Disneyland Paris stuff.
The Disneyland Paris
Not
stuff.
Our marriage.
No, yeah. We sort of thought, well, where do we go from here? Where do we go? Do we go somewhere completely different to Disney? Do we go to a country we've never been before? But that all quickly went out the window, and we decided to book a 10-day holiday to Disney World in Orlando.
We've booked the trip! So excited. We cannot contain it. We've been hiding this for a couple of weeks now, I would say. Yeah. And we just wanted to let the Disneyland Paris stuff do its thing.
Serve its course, yeah.
Yeah, and we also, by the way, have some more videos coming out from Disneyland Paris. So it's not all over just yet.
No.
But the really, really, really exciting thing, and we've had messages of concern from friends and family saying, how long have we got to go without vlogs for?
Disney again?
No. But they actually, they missed the vlogs. Like, they're already fearing that we're not bringing them vlogs. But we're really, really pleased to let you know there is going to be about a week gap.
Yeah.
And then we're going straight on a flight on the 4th of May to Orlando.
May the 4th be with you.
And different to our honeymoon, we're flying where we will see the carpet. We didn't get to see the carpet.
No, because we flew with BA, they go to Terminal C, which is the newer one. So we will be seeing the carpet and the man in the box.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we are obviously so excited for that straight away, because that is childhood nostalgia right there.
It is, yeah.
But to give you a breakdown on it all, we'll also do like a little post on TikTok and Instagram and stuff with the exact breakdown on it.
We'll look at how we're going to do that later on, I think.
But just to give you a quick overview, it's 10 nights from May the 4th, and we're staying in the Delta Marriott
Delta Marriott in Celebration.
in Celebration.
Yeah.
So
We've got a car for the duration.
Yep.
And we're going to Disney World.
Yeah, we're just doing Disney World.
We're not doing Universal.
We're not doing Universal, mainly because Epic is opening, and we just didn't want the chaos of it all.
Yeah.
We just knew it was going to be frantic. Also, anyone that knows, just on attraction tickets and places like that, the Universal tickets are roughly £500, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it was just too much money to go and spend, whereas we think we've got this holiday for a really, really good price. We're actually flying with Virgin, which is our first time.
Yeah. First time being an adult. I flew them when I was a child.
Oh, fancy. I've never. I don't think anyway. Mum and Dad let me know in the comments. But no, first time as an adult. We've definitely not done it together anyway.
No.
So we've done BA to Orlando 2 years ago.
We've certainly not flown this plane either. This is a new plane for us as well.
So obviously that's the exciting news that we've been keeping from you. We've really, really struggled with it. We've been slipping up in some conversations recently when we've been speaking to people. But it's going to be 10 days of fun, Disney. We've booked actually some dining reservations already, haven't we?
We have, yeah. So they'll be exciting.
Yeah.
We've only booked a couple, haven't we?
2. We booked 2 because what we were just saying about Disneyland Paris, we don't like to be tied down by dining reservations. We like to have the freedom, eat at the stalls. But we really wanted to do a character experience because it was our first time at Disneyland Paris and we enjoyed it.
Yeah. So we've booked the Garden Grill at Epcot.
Yep. And that's the one with the, on top of Soarin' and it revolves around. I think it's Mickey, Pluto, Chippendale. Yeah.
And then we've booked for our anniversary the California Grill at around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
And that's the one at the top of the Contemporary where you get to watch the Happily Ever After.
Yeah, whilst eating.
Yeah, whilst eating. So for our wedding anniversary, it's on the day that we got married. I've cried watching videos and I'm getting goosebumps now. It's just going to be the best experience.
It'll be special. Yeah, it'll be good.
Oh, God. I've never known anyone to do it either, so
it'll be good to experience that.
So there are 2 reservations, but we've also been looking around Celebration, haven't we, at what we would like to eat and things like that. So please do, if anyone's got any recommendations for Celebration, it's going to be our first time. We've done International Drive, Kissimmee, like all those kind of places, but our first time in Celebration. So please let us know about recommendations. I think Russ actually from Orlando Adventures said about Olive Garden.
Yeah,
so
we've never ate there.
That's somewhere that we're maybe considering as well. I'm trying to think if there was anywhere else.
We like a good Italian sort of.
Yeah, we love an Italian.
Pizza, pasta.
But that's it from us.
Yeah.
So firstly, again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for watching our vlogs.
Yeah.
We genuinely love it. Please share with anyone that you think would benefit from the vlogs. We try and be as informative as possible. And now that you guys know that we have another 11 vlogs for Walt Disney World coming up, let us know what you want to see in the videos in terms of, we're not going to alter what we do for you. But if you say, I really want to know more about timings, or I really enjoyed how you did the food pricing in these vlogs.
Specific things you want to see, or...
Yeah, like anything that you're like, oh, would you be able to show us this? Like, if we're passing that way, we'll show you. But just let us know, because we want to be able to customise things as much as possible as well.
Yeah.
We've had really good feedback from this current vlog saying how good family friendly it is and that the kids have been able to watch and we're not just dipping in and out of parks and it's quite scattered. It's been quite a flow, which is nice. Like we say, we've got 2 more coming up from this series. So the next vlog out next week is going to be a food vlog. So everything we ate at Disneyland Paris in those 4 days. Because we found that there wasn't that many, was there?
Not really, no.
We were really struggling to find out what people ate and prices. Just people being honest about it. And then we've also, I say we, Race, has been clipping together the most amazing video from the fireworks.
Yeah, it's quite good, isn't it?
Because we've got it at the front. Quite good. You're underselling yourself there. It's brilliant. We've got the front perspective and the back perspective, and you've basically cut between the 2 of them so you can see, like, get a bit of an immersive experience with them both.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
So yeah, so that we've got 2 more things coming up. We've got like maybe a few ride POVs potentially and things like that. But I suppose for now, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you at Walt Disney World. But for now, it's
Au revoir.